Get sponsored by Healthy.
What is it?
Healthy kombucha.
Isn't kombucha that shit that has like stuff floating around?
Yeah, it's the bullshit.
It's changed my life.
That stuff's disgusting. Let me see.
It's not disgusting. It's delicious. That's a good
This
one.
actually tastes good?
Yeah.
I've had like homemade kombucha. Steve's sister made it. It was so bad.
No, yeah, you can't do that. That one's good, and like the bubbly rosé is pretty good, and the tropical whatever is pretty good.
This is just straight sugar.
It's natural sugar. It's not like added sugar. It's from apple cider vinegar and shit.
Cane juice? I don't know.
I had a salad today.
Makes me big and strong. I had like 6
So
scarlet nuts
I'm
the other
very
day.
proud of you.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty big accomplishment.
That's nice. That's nice.
Let me get sponsored.
It's Wednesday today, so I figured I'd eat some pizza, but I had a salad.
1, it's Tuesday. 2, when they watch this, it's Friday. So I don't know where fucking Wednesday came in.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you know what? I'm still thrown off by last week's President's Day. Is that
By
weird?
what?
Like I'm like a week in, and it's just crazy.
A weekend of what?
Last week we had Monday off.
Post holiday.
So now it's like I'm still fluctuating. I know. Yeah, I know.
That doesn't happen.
My dumbass has to fucking commute in now. Be a piece of shit.
All right. If you've ever
Fuck
wanted,
NJ Transit.
if you've also facts. If you've ever wanted to figure out how to kill somebody and hide the body, you're gonna want to stick around for the end of this episode because today, we got a herd of goats where we are choosing our best ways to dispose of a body. This is well thought out, well calculated, and I've already seen Animal's answers, and he's not getting away with fucking anything.
There's no evidence.
Wait, hold on. Who won last week's?
Of course you won. Fucking who
Did
cares?
you?
The only thing
I don't play to win.
The only thing I provide
You had
to the
shower
herd of
beer.
goats,
You won. That was it.
The only thing I provide to herd of goats is I am like 70%. I'm winning these.
I only try to do
We
the
went
dumbest
back.
things.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yours are always terrible, but you somehow beat me every time. Just
They're
because
not terrible. They're fun.
Wait, no,
No,
you think
they're
yours
ass.
are good. That's the problem.
They are.
They're not.
They are. They
You
are
picked
good.
Miserable.
Bloodsport as one of your best sports movies.
He's got nothing.
He's got
He
no.
knows
What's
how
your
bad it
point?
was.
It is a great. It's probably one of the best sports movies.
All right,
No,
big dogs.
no.
This is the Fade the Public podcast. We will
What's
get to the-
cracking, big
I'm
dogs?
so fucking upset right now.
What's cracking, big dogs? You forgot to do it.
I didn't forget. I haven't done a What's Cracking in 2020
It's
yet.
been a long time since you did that.
It's been a long time.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe to get back off the schneid.
What's
that's where you do
slapping,
it.
big dogs?
What's cracking, big dogs?
Oh,
Welcome,
yeah.
Bikes.
There we go.
To the Contaminated
We're back.
Dungeon. This is the Fade the Public podcast. Today, we are talking Dynasty Fantasy Football because these two fucking assholes have never played prior to this year.
Yep.
First year. So
Learned a lot.
I do one video to kick things off every single year, my personal video where I talk about the top 10 lessons I learned from the year prior. That was on my channel, I believe last week or 2 weeks ago, in reference to redraft, so season long. But today, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to talk about our top lessons learned in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Because as I said, these two knuckleheads played for the first time this year.
Noobs.
So they might be stupid, but at least they learned
We
something.
learned some
and
lessons.
and could tell you what their stupid asses did, so you don't make that mistake. Because I know a lot of you guys are in the season-long bracket. You might be wanting to get into the Dynasty Leagues. We also have a Slack channel that's completely free if you want to join Dynasty Leagues with other Big Dog members. That will be linked right in the description down below. Noah and Scott and I think Mike run that. So if you're looking to join a Dynasty League, you've never done it, and you want to do it with other like-minded people, that's there for you. So today we're talking Dynasty, lessons learned from this year, and we're doing a herd of goats, and that should probably encapsulate the entirety of the show. You like that shit?
That was really nice.
That was good vocab.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's big.
Barbara Hatton's a very proud woman.
Ooh, Barbara Hatton. What's she
Name
up to?
drop.
The goat.
Name drop. We need a
Goat.
fucking... Okay, we also need one of those for the studio. We need like a...
I already know where you can get it. It's all planned.
Okay.
I got it. That's all.
This has been a year and a half in the making.
But
so I would hope you got
it is true. And I think we took two different paths in Dynasty this year, in a sense, so to say.
Yeah, both.
So-
I mean, same path, both bad ones, but different ways to get there.
Well, I think one's regrouping better than the other, so we'll see.
Highly debatable.
Right, exactly. That's why that's
what
why
we do
we're
on
talking.
podcasts. We
That's why we're
debate.
talking.
All right, let's get into who wants to start it off. First lesson learned. Who's got one?
You guys go first.
Who's got one?
'Cause I want to hear what you guys have to say, and then I just want to shit on
Well, I was going to start from
Start it off.
like the beginning of the experience. So right away, we had
Wait,
this-
real quick. Scott, hit the intro.
You fucking done over there?
Why are you grunting so much?
Fucking bullshit, whatever you're doing.
It's called a point of emphasis.
Animal.
So I was going to start with from where we started, which is the startup draft. Yeah. And I learned this kind of early on in the draft, and I think it's super important to...
Don't take guys with one knee in the second round.
That's also important, but trade down. Trade down some of those higher picks and get some, a package for the middle. You want to get those guys in the third, fourth, fifth, sixth round picks and just build your core of your team. I think it's so important to have a good core, and that's how you do it in a startup draft. You're going to draft straight up. It's gonna be tough to get that core. You're gonna have a lot of holes unless you draft very well.
I don't want to shit on your parade, but you are always a proponent of why would you trade down? You always say get the guy who you know is good. The pick you don't care, you don't know about.
So I like what you did. This
Talking
was actually
redraft though. This is Dynasty.
I understand.
Redraft,
that.
you go get your guy.
No,
Dynasty.
but you said it even in Dynasty when we were drafting in May. You were like, I don't care about my picks in the future. I want the guy there.
You were
saying you don't know what the rookies were about.
We were talking about rookie. I'm talking about in a startup draft, my man. In a startup draft, you don't have no rookie picks. It's just that first round pick. Someone might really want it because they want to make sure they can get
Snacks. Is your brain calibrated?
Right, did he not listen to what I said? Startup draft, my man.
All right, so I'm going to work off that because it's a good point. So what he's referring to is this: when you start the startup draft, you're really fucking excited. You're like, oh my god, this is about to be my dynasty team. I'm going to have this team for life. So the first thing you want to do is use that first round pick. You want fucking Michael Thomas. You want Juju. You want Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara!
I'm not mad at that.
Oh!
You want whoever it is that's there. What Animal is saying is trade that fucking first round pick, get a second and a fourth. Something like that. You could build the guys within those early round picks that aren't necessarily first round picks. Don't be afraid to trade back with when you're in the first round, when you're in the second round, because people like you, they're antsy as well. And they want that first. They will give up a ton of value. So if you're in the first, right? Like you're at the 109 or something.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you see
late first round,
you see a big
trade them.
Yeah, you see a big value gap there where it's like 109 to the fucking 204 are all like the same value for me. Trade back, pick up trade back to like the 204 and pick up an extra second round rookie pick next year plus like a third round the year after that. So the thing is like you don't need your first round pick if you can get it for good value.
Unless you have like the top three where you're going to get yourself a C-Mac or like a Zeke or like one of those staple running backs.
If you love a guy that's on the board, get him. But I'm saying like don't be like I have a first round, I have to use it.
And I'm not just saying this, and you could probably cut this if this sounds stupid, but we were literally drafting. I'm talking about the startup draft itself. You were in line saying in the group chat, you don't care about future picks. Weren't you trading?
He's talking about future rookie picks, though. You're saying it's future rookie picks. He kept trading back. Him and Scott kept moving back.
Right. He's not
I traded my
that's
first.
What I was gonna.
He didn't mean future in the startup.
I misheard you, and I apologize.
I traded my first round pick. To get like a second and a third.
That's where my confusion lied. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So where Animal didn't care.
That's what you learned.
Yeah. Animal didn't care about future startup picks, or he cared about future startup picks, not future rookie picks.
Future rookie pick. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's where I got confused, and I apologize.
So listen, if you're starting your startup draft, even if it's your second round pick, don't be afraid to move that for a third and a fifth or something like that.
I mean, those two picks, you're going to be able to get yourself two solid players versus just one who might be slightly better. You don't even know because things happen.
It's a 30-man roster. You need the depth, man. You're not going to win the entire. You're not going to win 5 years of dynasty.
Especially because how many people are we starting too? How many starters do you have on that?
I think you're getting a little nuanced right here.
Depends on
you got to fill that roster.
Yeah, no,
not just the whole roster, but your starting
I
lineup.
will say, and go fade me. If you're in a super flex dynasty league, these quarterbacks they are wanted. I was getting offers for Matt Ryan by playoff teams, and I was on the cusp. I was like, no, if you don't strategically draft quarterbacks, whether rookie or in a startup, regular guys, you're boned.
That's the other thing.
You're boned.
Well, I would say the smaller the league, the less important it is to grab the quarterbacks early. But Superflex, that's a good strategy right here. You move your second for a third and a fifth because you can get two quarterbacks.
You get two, right there. Yeah.
And quarterbacks are extremely undervalued in startup drafts relative to what you could move them for trade-wise after the draft.
Yep.
So I would say if you're in a Superflex league, definitely grab yourself a few quarterbacks because they are so valuable on the trade market.
Even if you don't need them, just grab them because you're going to be able to trade them.
I was just going to say, in the worst case, just draft 3 in a row.
If you're not sure who to draft, like in the 11th round.
You're going to get a desperate team a desperate owner that needs that quarterback, and you're going to be able to fleece him. So
the best part about it is like you're in round 7 or 8, right? And there's still going to be quarterbacks on the board that are young. When did Darnold go in our
probably
draft?
Probably 7th
8?
round, I think.
Probably like
7, 8.
Darnold probably went in the 7th round.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like between him and like a Curtis Samuel in the 7th round, Curtis Samuel has like a coin flip of hitting, and if he does, it's not going to be like he's probably going to be an okay player for a few years. Darnold's going to have value in Superflex for the next like 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. And see, that's when I traded for Daniel Jones. Scott, I love you. And I know it's Daniel Jones, Giants fan, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But that I got him for a 2nd round pick, essentially.
That's
was
great.
Unbelievable value right there. That's my QB1 essentially for years to come.
Yeah. So if you're on the clock and you're like debating between an okay player and like, should I grab a 3rd and 4th quarterback? Grab them motherfuckers because you could flip them for whatever you want. When you're on the clock, especially in rookie drafts, like coming up, when I'm on the clock, if someone's offering me a quarterback for like my 2nd, 3rd, 4th round pick, I don't have quarterback, so I'm gonna need to stab at that shit. I'm gonna lose value in a trade just so I can get a quarterback.
My first pick is early 2nd, and I have a pretty decent feeling on how the first 12 picks are gonna go between Scott and Sexy Barons.
Yeah.
Those two fucking idiots. But if a Herbert falls to me or a Justin Love falls to me, I'm probably gonna snag him.
Yeah. So quarterbacks they're an interesting dynamic when you're playing in Dynasty, but I think especially in the startup draft right away, super undervalued. As soon as the draft is over, their trade value is so much higher than the players around them. So quarterbacks, for sure.
And that kind of goes to your point, too. Know their value and their window of value. So.
Oh. Is that what I wasn't sure.
I knew that's what he was like trying to like segue into.
I thought he was going to start it.
Yeah, it was so piss poor.
I thought he was
I don't think it was that piss poor. I literally said what he was saying.
Okay, so one of the harder lessons I personally learned this year is that if you think that the player finally hits the trade window where you need to get rid of them, you're probably already too late. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of guys, you'll listen to podcasts and they'll be like, you should sell T.Y. Hilton now, or you should sell Julio now. But guess what? Your fucking league mates don't want T.Y. Hilton now or Julio now because they're approaching 30 years old and they both, Julio's okay, but he's kind of been on this whole like broken foot thing for 22 years now, and we don't know what the offense is going to look like if they're bringing in. Yeah, it's just he's old,
and it makes it more difficult too for someone if you're in a position where you're competing. You don't want to trade Julio because you want him on your team to help you win, but you kind of want to get rid of him because his age and everything. But you can't get the value that you need for him because he's too valuable because he can help you win. So you're just stuck in that.
I'm stuck in that limbo. You're stuck
to die with him.
Like, are you going to win now? Do you want to keep him? What are you doing?
Like, don't get me wrong. You could still move Julio and Ty, but you trying to trade them at where their value is extremely difficult unless you catch someone kind of off guard. Or the right play is to find somebody who is competing and then move that guy. The problem is, like in our league, for instance, this is very personal to me. I have Julio. I made it to the championship game this year, so my team is ready to win the championship right now. So me moving Julio, like me and Animal were in trade discussions, Julio for like Hollywood Brown, straight up, right? And I'm like, that's normally, if I wasn't in this position where I was trying to win right away, I would take that because
I wanted to pick too. Don't make me sound like a fucking idiot here.
That's a normal straight up trade.
Don't make me sound like an invalid.
This is Dynasty. I need to have a pick. I'm giving you a 22-year-old for a 31-year-old.
Hollywood for Julio, straight up.
No, I would want to pick.
Well, that's why
I said I wanted the 311.
I know you did, but I'm saying it's like a 4th round pick. But I'm saying the extra pick is probably what would make it a little exactly. Yeah, hit him with the shaky snacks.
I think that's a perfectly fair trade.
The Julio for Marquise is perfectly fair. No. Regardless, yes, it is.
I would need a pick.
It's not like you don't objectively say what's fair and what's not fair.
I think that I would like to know what the people think.
Julio for Marquise, Hollywood Brown, is that not a straight up fair trade?
Just in a Dynasty League, yeah.
It's straight up fair.
I think I would need a pick to make up for the youth.
Well, did you not?
But it depends on the but the Julio putting up 1,000 extra more yards makes up for the fucking youth, asshole. Right. Well, that's how trades work.
For one more year, but when you have Marquise Brown for the next 10 years,
I understand how age works as well. But I'm saying that's why that's why.
That's probably another thing you could learn, that age is a factor in injury history too. So don't draft Todd Gurley in a startup in the second.
This kind of goes back to like what he was saying, where you need to know when that window is. So I realized
and that's what I tried to say before.
I realized right before the playoffs, like I wasn't going to make the playoffs. I had Todd Gurley. I didn't want him on my team. I got whatever I could for him. I traded him to Scott, who was trying to
the most valuable
compete.
time to trade
right before the playoffs.
is in season.
Yeah.
It's in season. If you know, Julio is the premier fucking in season trade. Trade him to a guy like me who's about to compete for a championship.
Right.
That's when the best window
Listen,
is.
I was borderline. I was a game out of the playoffs this year, and I had DeAndre Hopkins. I had Vach coming at me with reckless abandon. He probably offered me 30
Every pick
picks
he had, yeah.
and Odell Beckham for
was
DeAndre
actually
Hopkins
insane
just
at
to
one point,
win.
yeah.
What he offered me was insane. I would
Well,
send
yeah,
it to you guys, and
people get
and you were like,
desperate.
I probably declined that trend. Like you veto it because it was so insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like absurd.
Desperation, man. It really is a huge factor when it comes to trade.
Desperation is a stinky cologne.
So know your spots.
So
know
I would
your
say
spots.
to that point too, like if you're like, I'm competing for a playoff spot, I would almost say it's worth sacrificing just to get into the playoffs that year to set your team up for a better future. You know what I mean? Like if you're like, oh, I might squeak in as like the 5th seed or something, fuck that 5th seed, not rebuild the team, but like build for the future.
Yeah,
So I
build
would
to get to that fucking second seed,
You know what I mean?
First seed.
It's like if you don't have a realistic shot at winning, because Dynasty's funky, man, because the way startup drafts work, it's so differed because people start to trade future picks and they don't care about their roster right now and they're like already in rebuild mode. So there's a good chance that like there are 2 or 3 teams that are absolutely stacked that you have no chance of beating. Whereas like redraft, you're just fighting to get into the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like if you're in a season long, you're like, just give me that 4th seed and I'm ready to roll. But different in Dynasty. So if you're halfway through the season and you're like, I'm kind of on the borderline, I'm not that good of a team. Julio, Ty, those are the guys to move. But again, like their value plummets very quickly as soon as like the mainstream, the public starts to be like, oh, they're kind of trade targets. So trade them before they're in that zone when they're still performing at peak level, because you know in a year they're not going to be that value anymore. Like imagine holding on to AJ Green at the end of last year because you were hoping that he had something.
Yeah.
Or Antonio Brown.
Like if you could trade AJ Green last year for like a late 3rd, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like
Oh, you
I don't know about late 3rd, maybe, but like
Right
anything
now,
in
though,
early,
looking at it right now, you
I'd
thinking
rather
about
have
it,
a
like,
third. Yeah.
I'll take any 3rd rounder pick over than AJ Green.
you'd
right
be
now.
celebrating at the bowling alley.
Yeah, it's just, well, I don't know why we're at the bowling alley, but
I've been wanting to bowl for a while.
you want to go bowling? I love bowling. I
love
have
bowling,
shoes.
too,
Are you guys any good?
I bowl like 130s, 140s consistently.
What about
Decent. 120, 130.
you? Wow, I think we
My-
have.
my
That's probably
highest-
around where I bowl too.
I
think
bowled
we
a
could have good-
178 was my highest ever.
Do we smell a competition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
178 was your highest ever?
Yeah, I
Oh,
bowled
I've beat
5
that.
strikes at the end.
I've beat that.
That's
awesome.
nice. That's
I used to be in a
nice.
bowling league. I won the
I'm
MVP
in.
award one time.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
I'm in.
You know, it was actually, I'm not even going to say who's in that league. You guys
Bunch of
probably-
characters.
No, you could probably guess based on some of the conversations we've had today and yesterday. I'll just say there's a bunch of fucked up people in the league, including myself.
I think I know where we're going.
I'm a master bowler. But more importantly, if you have a guy like Julio, it's okay to ride into the sunset with them.
Yeah.
My point is,
He's-
at this point, if I'm not
The
going to
guy's
get
that
a
good.
realistic trade offer, I'm okay fucking riding him out until there's no toes left on Julio's
Yeah.
feet, because that's going to be the case soon. So if you're really competing for the championship, it's okay not to try to fucking sucker every penny of value out of these guys.
Yep. No, it's you don't have to trade everybody at the tail end of their career. Some guys you can just let the candle burn out.
Yeah, like you could be known as a respectable owner, and thus players want to come to your team.
Yep.
I think it helps in trades.
Well, that's why I think in a segue.
You know how you know it's
Don't
going to be a bad
announce the
segue when you say I'm going
Don't
to segue.
announce that it's a segue. You just segue.
I know. Well, I've
You
been
don't know
trying.
anything.
Well, what I learned, because we've been going off on that for 2 minutes,
Swearing it.
of course, naturally. I think you have to have a plan and stick to it. And I'm going to call out Sexy Pats, and if he listens, then he'll know. But Sexy Pats' plan was to draft guys and trade them for first-round picks the next year. So he's going all in on the rookies. I think it's ballsy. I think it's this is my first dynasty, so I don't know how it's going to transpire or whatnot. But he's got nobody. So if he's got 8 first-round picks and only 2 of them hit, he's probably fucked for.
See, the
for a
only thing
long
that's
time.
good about like what he did, what you said is when you have a plan, you stick to it. He didn't trade those picks away all year. He
Had
stuck
he started
around.
like being like, okay, I'm going to grab this guy and this guy, and
Now those picks are he's going to be able to get way more value and get better players than he would have during the season.
But I feel like
because
he still did kind of stick to it because he traded Mahomes for.
that's what I'm saying. He did stick to it.
Oh, I thought you said didn't stick to it. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm saying he did
Dude,
stick
I
to
think
it.
this is starting to become a
Well,
problem.
it's too fucking
I'm
bad.
not- I'm
You
not
already-
even kidding.
You
I think
already
you've been the
fucking
problem.
branded yourself with it. You're stuck with it. So here's what I was saying is that
I legitimately,
now, now that he has,
I legitimately thought you said it's not a problem. I
Now-
think this is starting to become a problem.
no, shut up. Listen,
I can't take these out.
now
I
that
can't take them out.
it's time for the rookie draft. He has all those picks still,
Yeah.
and people who are going to be like, "Oh, look, so and so at the 106. I really want him. Well,
Yeah.
Sexy Pats. I'll give you I'll give you these 3 guys for that pick." Like
Right.
people are going to get desperate and stupid when they see someone they want on the board.
He's got
and he
plenty of
has all the
leverage.
picks to give it away. Okay, yeah, I already
Yeah.
got these 3 guys.
Yeah.
I'll just trade it because I'm not sure anymore. I'll trade this guy. I'll get a proven guy.
Right, and that's exactly that.
If he did it earlier in the
that was
season,
his
he
plan.
wouldn't
That's what
have
he
as
wanted,
much
right.
leverage.
And he's got all the leverage now.
Yes, so
he's got all the
sticking
leverage
to it. Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. Stick to a plan. Like for me, when I came in there, and I'm gonna combine 2 of them. So I also said don't get antsy, don't try and do too much. Our draft was ridiculous. There was a trade every 30 seconds.
I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemies.
Right. So and that's
I had a
the only
good time.
that's the only thing I
Wouldn't
can
wish
go
that
on.
upon the counselor's audience.
It's the only thing it's the only thing I can go on. Everybody was trading left and right, so people were getting antsy. They wanted to trade. You want to do that? Don't get antsy. Sit back. If you like what you're doing,
That's
sit
like
back,
a
relax.
FOMO, you know?
If everybody's FOMO, exactly. If everybody's trading, you don't have to trade.
you got to zig when everybody's ass. You got to fade the public.
Like you could literally end up with a good team if you don't make a single trade during the startup draft.
And you're fine.
You're gonna get
look
player after
at
player after
Votto. Look
player.
at Votto.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
team
you're
was
gonna have a
solid.
first round pick, a second.
Votto
round
had a
pick,
very
third round.
nice team. Didn't make one trade. Didn't say a word to anybody.
Then he was dead.
Then
he was
never
dead.
played
Then
a
he was dead.
single game.
Just don't end up dead. We're gonna tell you how not to end up dead.
Sexy Pass knew what he was doing. He wanted
Yeah, we'll
all
see.
his picks. Well, I'm just saying he knew what he wanted to do.
He's now at least he's stuck with his
Okay,
plan
but
and put himself in a position.
Give us
to-
another example of that. That's not like Sexy Pats related, where it's not just like you have a plan, go in. It's like yes, just give up all my first rounds. But is that a lesson other than that?
I wouldn't say it's a lesson. No, I'm saying it's what I learned this year, which was the point. I am saying don't stick to a plan and do it. I think he had a plan and he did it. Me, personally, I was in that clux of the draft and then I misread a trade once and that fucked me for the rest of my life. It did.
That shit was so funny.
It fucked me
Terrible.
bad because I thought I was getting a pick this year and not next year. So I guess that's another lesson. Read the picks that you're getting in the year.
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
kind of everybody you should know that already.
I get
Next
that. I
lady
know.
was getting like a third round startup pick, and it was like a third round rookie pick, and he
Yeah,
hit
it
a
was
7 on
really bad. And I
We were ruthless during it. We're like, pay the fuck attention.
Yeah.
I
There-
know.
there was
I know.
multiple trades
It
I've
was
gone
tough.
through.
It was tough. I was like boozing at my cousin's Woodstock party, and it was bad.
Yeah. Also, though,
But-
going back on what you said about like moving back in the draft. The other thing about moving back and getting more picks is it's very much like the NFL draft where nobody's that good at drafting. So you want to give
Yes.
yourself as many shots
That's-
at getting good players in the early rounds as possible because we're all going to miss on early round players too. So and if you
And a lot of these guys are going to be busts.
Exactly.
You know that.
If
So
you
if,
miss
if
on
you have
dynasty
more,
players
if you have
early
more
on,
picks,
that hurts a lot. So if you
Yeah,
have,
I mean, I took Baker Mayfield early, like one of my first picks.
Which
and,
was-
like,
I
if
thought
I
it was a
didn't
good
trade,
pick.
yeah. At the time,
At the
I thought
time,
it was a great
really good pick.
I traded him, and if I didn't trade him, my team would probably look I could be in trouble. But like, I
Yeah.
traded him for 2 quarterbacks, and that was what kind of relifted me. That's
that's what I mean. It's like, would you rather have that early Baker Mayfield or would you rather have turned that into like fucking
I got
3
Dak and
picks?
Kirk Cousins
Like,
for him.
exactly,
Like
like, that's-
imagine having Dak, like you get Dak in the 5th and Kirk in like the 8th or
Yeah,
whatever,
or like
instead
a
of
even-
Baker in the 2nd. Like,
yeah, or like a skill. You could have got like Miles Sanders and Dak. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Just-
rather than Baker. So
Yeah.
it's like give
Exactly.
yourself as many dart throws in those first like 6 rounds as you possibly can. They don't all need to be front loaded.
and try and figure that out midway through the year. Like for me, I was in a flux. Like I was drafting to win that year, and then I was trading away picks that I didn't mean to trade away. But that's where I was. I fucked up, so I realized that. And then I traded Nick Chubb away for Godwin, a first and a second. You know, on the surface, I'd probably want to keep Chubb, but I thought for
It's a good trade.
a technically rebuilding team, that was a good
for
trade
your team,
value
it
for
was
me.
good for you because that's
Right,
what you needed.
exactly. So know your value, know the value of your team,
Kind of
what you want to do. Go ahead.
It's going to bring me to like my next point was kind of
Great segues next.
how it's.
You guys,
I think it's really
I think we're
important.
gonna put away some time.
Well, it's just very different because I'm trying to think of like just this league, and that's all I'm thinking of. And
Well, I was gonna say
we're gonna make some
overall-
time, and I'm gonna come up with like impromptu cards, and I'm gonna put you two in a corner, and I'm gonna have like a random topic, and you guys have to do like a little comedy skit where you don't say segue or my next point or something like that. Where each day for 10 minutes, you guys are gonna do something where you talk to each other, and then I'm randomly gonna throw up another topic, and you somehow have to get it to there.
So instead of the game show you host, it's going to be him hosting our
the Segway Sundays or some
That's
shit
great.
like that.
I like
That's
that.
great. I like that too.
You know what
So
else
it's
I like?
important to lock in a stud running back. I think with those like 3-4 guys, you got like the C-Mac, Zeke, Kamara,
Ooh, but I feel good, baby.
Ew.
and
Well, you can only get those guys if you have the draft capital.
Right,
But
that-
I think the bigger point is yes, wide receivers are more like valuable in Dynasty, have a longer shelf life. But like the startup draft we did, I took my first 2 picks were Mixon and Melvin Gordon.
Yeah.
Like I'm fine. Like I would rather
Nice.
build my team around
Keep
stud.
that, yeah.
I'd rather
So
build
would
my
I.
team around stud running backs
Yeah.
than just like
Yeah,
draft
those-
a wide receiver because they're supposed to stay around for
And
longer.
that's
they're
why-
your
and that's
core.
why-
Those guys that are going to give you 3-4 years of just awesome running back production where you're not going to
Nothing more
You don't
valuable
have to
than that.
worry about it. It's still the hardest part to find.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, and that's why I think mine and Scott's trade, that conversation went on for like 3 hours.
Well, see,
That-
that's why
that was a
like,
hefty trade because I desperately needed that running back.
Well,
needed
the,
him.
the reason why I was
And I built up the capital enough to trade for that RB1. And I still have a wide receiver 1 definitively for probably 3 years.
The other thing
DeAndre
with getting
Hopkins.
the stud running backs is dynasty wide receivers in general, in the same way that quarterbacks have a very long shelf life for value, wide receivers do too.
Yes.
Yeah. There will be so many, like you look at dynasty players as like assets in the stock market in a sense. Wide receivers will give you like 6 years of value spikes.
Yeah.
Like Devontae Parkers or guys like that, and will stay around forever. Like Curtis Samuel could bust next year, and the following year people will still be like, this is his breakout year. You know what I mean? So it's like if you go with your guys that you know are going to be filling in for your running back slot early on, and you know those are going to be the studs, cool. But if you wait on running backs and you get like the 5th or 6th round guys, a lot of those guys, like in the NFL, if they're going to be good running backs within like the first year or two, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't take them 5 years to break
No.
out.
You know right away.
You know, so at least you have the value spikes with wide receivers. So I'm not saying like you have to stack up running backs, because obviously you want the young wide receivers like the Michael Thomases and guys like that.
Well, I think it's the most important position when it comes to building
forbid
a
you
dynasty
trade a
roster.
Michael
don't
Thomas.
don't trade away. Yeah, don't shy away from early round running backs just because people tell you to go with wide receivers.
Yeah, well, and for wide receivers, it's something that like I'm learning and learned just through experience and looking past at other drafts, is that especially the young wide receivers, they take time. So be patient with them, because you got like look at N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry was the 101 pretty much everywhere in rookie drafts, and he had a terrible year.
Well, this is where I think going into a plan helps a little bit, because that's okay. So with N'Keal Harry, the problem with drafting young wide receivers is you cannot go into it acting like they're going to be the ones that are giving your team production. So
But
this
people
year,
do, is the
right?
problem.
That's the
So
problem.
just you have to realize that like they're going to take a year or two to really break out. for the
Dynasty's
most
cool
part.
because like listen, you can go. This is the reason why I like targeted younger wide receivers, but then I knew I could get like Julian Edelman in round 10 because everyone's like, oh, he's like fucking 32, he's almost a year. But if I'm like, I'm gonna get one more top 15 wide receiver season out of Julian Edelman for an 11th or 12th round pick, like give me that shit.
So I have the other guys by the time Julian Edelman's gone. Hopefully they'll have stepped up and broken out enough where they
those
can
are
fill in
things you
those
could
shoes.
plan for, knowing that veteran, like that's a really good plan to go into the startup draft, knowing that you can mix and match veterans. So don't just be like, I'm just going to get as many young, exciting wide receivers as I possibly can and see how it turns out. Like, make sure that, you can get like the Larry Fitzes, the Julian Edelmans, the
guys that are going to help you right now.
Yeah, the guys that can help you put up points right now. They might not be league winners, but they'll bridge the gap between Julian Edelman and N'Keal Harry.
And
So-
those guys, even if you're like a bottom feeder, you could probably trade them for a pick.
exactly.
So
exactly, you trade them to, if it doesn't work out, trade them to a competitor.
trade them for a pick. You're rebuilding. You got to stack up picks. So that's what you do. People that are at the top from our league, I know it. We know it. They're desperate. Like I was talking about with the Vast trade, they're fucking desperate. They want to win that title right away. So if you stack up on these guys, hold out, you're going to get even better value later on in the year when these guys are trying to win. So
Yeah, I think as long as you'll learn more as you play Dynasty. Dynasty is a whole nother animal. You might think you know what you're talking about, but like until you're in a league and you've actually gone through You know,
Another thing is know your league mates. Like you said, like,
Yeah.
you know, all these things are important, but it changes depending on how your league is. Like our league trades a lot. So like know who trades a lot. If you want to trade, you go to those guys. Like know who is trying to compete and who's not trying to compete.
know
right
who's
away.
a degenerate. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many. Like you got to get to know. Like we're in a group chat. We're constantly talking. Like you got to know these people that you're in. These are you're with it forever. So
Yeah.
like
No, it's true.
get to know your league mates.
Get to know them. Take them
Yeah,
out for
you
dinner.
Scott
gotta,
really
dude,
is
you gotta
a
get
degenerate.
inside their head.
Hire animal too. I think I'm gonna eventually make your position like a for hire chef.
Like, oh yeah, I
People
can
can
do that.
hire animal to. I'm gonna fly you out to like their
Guest
draft or
chef?
something.
Oh my god,
dude,
I would totally do that.
that'd be sick. Okay, okay. I think that's like the wheels are turning right now. I think we
Yeah.
can provide like on draft site entertainment in some way.
Yeah, we should have like we could host drafts like
We
how
could-
like you know they do that like
you'll
Hooters.
be the kitchen. You'll be the cook. No,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
needs to be like personal.
Well,
We
no,
don't
I
wanna
was
do
saying
that.
you know, like how Hooters has like you
Have them
come and
to
they
the
have their
HQ.
own
Yo,
thing.
they can come to the HQ as a
Yes.
destination.
Stop.
Bro,
Stop.
this is
Yes.
fucking litty.
Stop.
You wanna
We'll
rent
be the
out-
hype man. You'll be the fucking
Yeah,
chef.
I'll chef it up.
Woo! Woo! I'm excited right now.
like
All right. I forget what the fuck we were
I
talking
like
about.
that.
We're talking about young players, and speaking of young players, tight ends rarely have good first seasons. Like these young rookie tight ends, they come in, you're excited about them, and then they're just like okay, and people get down on them, and they're like, oh, this guy sucks, he's a bust, and they want to trade him. I'm trying to scoop up Noah Fant and T.J. Hawkinson in any dynasty league right now because
Hawkinson's much easier to get. I think people are
Fant
a little bit
people-
excited because he had a couple
Because he
breakout
hit a
games at the end
monster
of the
second
year.
half of the year.
So okay, so for instance, I took Hawkinson 6th round of our startup.
it's very early.
Yeah, because I was like, this guy's going to be the next, et cetera, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, if you did a startup draft, I don't think Hawkinson would go in the 6th round.
I don't think he would go in top 10.
He'd go in the first 10 rounds. 100%.
think so?
Yeah, he'd probably be around like.
I feel like there's too many other tight ends that kind of emerged.
You're right, but I still think he would go around like 8 or 9-ish in that range. But for Fant, where did Fant go? Do you remember?
Probably like 10, 11.
10, 11. I
right?
think he would go earlier than that now. He would probably go like 7 or
He
8.
would, I think he would go before Hawkinson now.
But
Easy.
yeah, probably. But
Sure.
it'd be very
Yeah.
close. But the point remains. I get what you're saying. It's like the same thing with the wide receivers. These
Yeah, like-
positions just naturally don't produce in their first year, so their value tends to see a little decline. Not with like sharper players, because guys who tend to draft these guys draft them because they like them. So they're just like, oh, I'm not going to just give up on it for 1
They
year.
know what they're gonna get.
But again, know your league mates, because some
Yeah.
people won't have that kind of affinity for some of these players. You
It's
could,
an interesting case right there. Hawkinson and Fant.
that is actually. You know what? I think I could probably pull up.
Because I'm falling down on Hawkinson every day of the week.
Yeah, see, I want
And
I
I'd
want to
rather
find
Fant.
someone like you that has Hawkinson and is like, fuck
Yeah,
this guy. I don't
yeah.
want him on my team anymore.
And then
they'll just
take-
give him for like nothing.
take him for nothing,
Yeah,
right,
that's what I'm
right.
looking for.
Where
Like,
the fuck can I find Dynasty ADP? Oh, wow. Mark Andrews is all the way down at 50. That means Hawkinson's probably like 200. You guys have anyone that you want to know ADPs of, just off the top of the head? Could be rookies included, actually.
Like this year or last?
Yeah.
This year,
This year, everybody.
I'd love to know.
Dynasty startup.
I'd love to know Justin Herbert's, because I think he's going to be a monumental bust. I think somebody trades up for him and they regret it for life.
Where are you, Herbies? Oh, it only goes up to 150. He's not in the top 150.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll hunt
I didn't think so, but he's gonna kill it at the combine. Somebody's gonna trade out for him. That was my point.
Noah Fant, 59 overall. TJ Hawkinson, 64. So 5 picks behind him.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
that does. Are the Broncos gonna draft quarterback this year?
nah, bro, we're franchise locked in.
Flacco.
Drew Lock.
Flaxstein, the god.
Drew Lock
Flacco.
sucks.
Flacco's gonna.
I can't wait till
probably
he
be our
gets
backup.
exposed this year.
Please.
But it's gonna be good. You're gonna be in the running for Trevor Lawrence.
We're gonna make
Please.
we're gonna make a bet closer to the season, something to do with Drew Lock versus Daniel Jones. Just
Yeah, I
so
can't
you know.
wait. I can't wait.
We'll figure it'll be a show bet. Will someone
Wait,
lose?
time
We'll
out,
have to
time
wear
out,
a
time
shirt
out,
or
time
some
out, time out,
shit.
time
No
out.
money. Just a fucking.
Can you not admit right now? I can admit it. I was wrong. Dan Jones is pretty fucking good.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything yet. He hasn't even played a full season, and he turned the ball over 1 million times. So
Okay, he's a rookie.
okay, so let me see him in the second year. See if he takes the next step. Because Trubisky had a
see.
pretty good first year.
No, he didn't. He had a terrible first year. A great second year.
Did he? I thought he had a decent first year.
You're an okay rookie or fantasy wise.
Yeah.
Extremely.
All right, if we're
inconsistent.
talking fantasy wise,
Now,
yeah,
it was actually
yeah.
somewhat similar to DJ, where it
Yeah.
was like a lot of highs, a
Just
lot
like
of lows.
turnovers and shit.
But I think Jones's highs were 20 times better than
He's
Trubisky's
much better.
highs.
the traits he showed his rookie year were much more promising than
he
the
looks
good
like a
that Trubisky
promising, but
showed.
I'm not gonna like lock it in yet.
I'm not just bullshit. Are we really gonna sit here and say like Dan Jones is a fucking idiot?
Maybe I don't know. I've never met him.
Probably a smart guy.
Fuck you talking about? You sound like a fucking idiot. What are you saying?
You know what I'm trying to say.
Is he like a bad football player? Probably not. No, but is he a franchise quarterback? I don't know yet.
That's fair.
That's it. I mean, it's
Fair.
You gotta give it time.
I don't know because everybody that says Sam Darnold's like God's creation to the Son is better.
Sam
than Dan
Darnold's another
Jones.
one who's hard to
Yeah.
gauge because he hasn't really.
No,
given
no,
you a
not
full
to
season
everybody,
yet.
You
not
should
to-
trade him to me.
Nah, no chance.
Not,
Dynasty,
not to Nick, not to anybody.
top
It's
six.
Sam Darnold is like Joe Montana to some people. So
Yeah.
How is he not?
I don't know. He's got Adam Gase as the head coach. So
That's exactly why. If he didn't have Gase, he'd be a god.
okay, and then
Probably
when he
be
gets
the front
then when he
runner.
gets a new coach, it's going to take 2 years to develop that, and by then he's on a $175 million contract.
What is this? Is nonsense right now.
Sorry.
These are facts.
is complete not.
Whatever Snacks is laying out right now are the anti-facts, so we know exactly what's
Let's
going to happen.
get back to.
I take Daniel Jones over Sam Darnold any day of the week.
Let's get. Did you? Let's.
I'd rather toughness than ghosts.
I fucking quit.
Quit too.
Sorry.
All right. Do we have any more lessons learned from Dynasty this year? I know
Yes.
you could probably go on for 2 more days, and
No,
you
I
can
mean,
do that
I-
if you want.
I'm good.
I just have a quick tidbit. I just want to say, don't be afraid to trade away those future picks for proven players, already proven players. Like a guy that maybe has been in the league for 2 years, he's already proven. But
That's
you know,
what I was saying. Your point was in the beginning.
yeah. Well,
came from-
you just
I'm
mixed
on
it
board
up.
with that.
I mixed it up. It came full circle.
But I
Also,
also,
it's team dependent,
I also want to. We'll do this video again next year after you guys have gone through a rookie draft and are preparing
Well,
for
that's-
next year's rookie
exactly.
draft, because
That's going to be a lot different.
everyone who has never played automatically just sent away all of their future picks.
Yes.
As soon as the startup draft started, my next year first round doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, that would have been Jonathan Taylor, you fucking moron. So yeah, it absolutely matters to the future of your pick. So don't get antsy, and like when you're in the startup draft, your rookie draft picks next year still fucking matter. Very, very much. And I would argue that their value is at the lowest value that you could possibly get them all year because no one gives a fuck about them during the startup draft. So buy them shits during the draft.
Well said.
I think that's a perfect segue into the herd of goats.
God, I don't think it is, but we could start the herd of goats regardless. Herd of goats disposing of bodies.
Listen,
Before we
and
start, I wanna
let's
take
preface
this
by
Scott,
saying
can you sex this up a little bit? Just slow mo or something.
what the fuck are you doing?
I wish your nipples come through the shirt. So
Wait, why are you doing that?
Scott, can you sex this up a little bit? Slow mo. I wish your nipples come through the shirt. So wait, why are you doing that?
I was sweating a little bit, so I just want to take this jacket off. But
So
I
you
wanted,
want to do that in
doing
slow
that?
I
motion?
wanted Scott to make it
all right, real quick, context
You know,
behind the
ruin what I was
disposing
about
of
to
the
say.
body.
some passion behind it.
Context behind the disposing of the body. Let's say you wake up one morning and there's just a dead body. Let's say no blood or anything. It's just on your living room floor and nobody is home. No one's going to be home for the next 10 hours.
All right.
That's what it is. It's not like you fucking stabbed them and then you got to figure out what to
Right,
do.
because me and Max are an organized crime family, so we're not going to get into what we do. But Nick is right. If somebody's laying in front of you dead that you never met,
Of course I'm
How you
fucking-
getting rid of
whatever the case
it?
was,
G1, I'm eating it. I'm eating the body. Now, to specify, I'm not going to eat it raw. I'm going to probably make it into some type of a stew.
You're going
and
to cook
soften.
his body on the grill.
I'm gonna, you never know.
in the microwave.
I'm gonna. No.
Did you see the tweet about the Hot Pockets thing?
No.
It was like the heiress to Hot Pockets.
Oh yeah, like a school thing or whatever.
She did something. She's like going to jail, and then like one of the first tweets on it was like she's sentenced to 90 seconds in the microwave. I was fucking dying.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyway, sorry.
No, but yeah, no, I'm probably gonna make it into some type of a stew, boil it down, get the meat soft.
See, this is
maybe
what I asked
season
you
it.
about before. I was like, we're gonna do. Go.
Well, I'm eating it.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
That's just my way of getting rid. There's no evidence.
You made it
None.
seem like it was gonna
Yeah,
be.
but you die after that.
No, that's not true. How do you know?
100%. 100%.
What do you mean? How do I know? You're eating
You can't eat an
fucking
entire fucking
human.
body
You're
and-
eating
I
a
will-
human.
Dude, I'm gonna feed myself for months with it. I'm gonna freeze the organs and then I'm gonna take them out, make a liver stew. I'm gonna take it
You're
out.
gonna freeze the organ. What about like the fingers and shit? They're just gonna be in your fridge.
Yeah, freeze
I
them.
would. You'd be
Sorry,
caught.
sorry. There's
Why?
no
There's
way
no
that
one-
works.
no one's
There's
going in my
no
fridge.
way. There's
I
no
am when
way
I get
that
the
works.
WWF
Who are you
bars.
telling? You gonna rat me out, motherfucker?
Yes.
It's fucked up. You're gonna, be,
100%.
you're gonna be in my stew too.
Eating a dead body is no way that works. I'm sorry.
I mean,
No.
it
There's
does.
no way that works. It doesn't work.
He's done
It's
it.
the perfect crime.
It's
All
a
right,
ridiculous
well-
crime. Whatever.
well-
G1, eat it.
G2, I'm putting acid in a tub. If you watch Breaking Bad, you probably know that. You just slip the body, you pour the acid, you pour the everything in the tub, you put
was
the
wondering
body
if it was
there,
really
and it
this easy.
disintegrates.
Here's the
It
problem: is
disintegrates.
You would never know which acid to get.
First of all, yeah,
you
number
would get
one,
water your first.
You need the
attempts.
right acid. Number two, you're using a tub, so you're already done if it's not a porcelain tub. And that was the first problem.
You
they
need to get
had.
one of those like bucket things.
You need to have
right?
plastic because it won't eat the plastic
Yeah,
away.
fair.
So
Yeah,
you're
fair.
gonna get caught.
No,
Because they're gonna search your Google search history and be like, "How do I fucking
What type of acid is good for melting down a body?
yeah?
Like-
What type of plastic do I need for acid
like-
melting?
Yeah.
Like you're done. You're
Not
done.
true.
It's hydrochloric acid and a polypropylene.
Guys, I just want to let you know.
I watch
I will
television.
come and visit you in jail after you get caught with these fucking absurd.
I watch television, so I almost 1,000% confident.
It's actually insane how much TV like makes me confident about killing somebody and
Oh,
getting
yeah.
away with it. It's
Just watch The
ridiculous.
Sopranos again
Yeah, it's like
Well, if The Sopranos makes it easy, just wear like gloves and kill them in the middle of the street.
and just
Like,
chop them up.
yeah,
Nobody will
just
ever
shoot
see it.
and
Just
run away
chop
real
'em
quick.
up.
Nah, just shoot them and leave them dead in the street and drive away.
Well,
in
it
your
depends
Cadillac.
if you're in Pine Barrens. Yeah.
Like at this
doesn't
point,
matter.
yeah, at this point, if you kill somebody and you get caught, you're a fucking moron. I feel like it's so hard. It's so easy to get away with it.
All right, so why don't you give us your G3?
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna put it in the trunk of my car. I'm gonna drive that bitch all the way to Nebraska.
Bad move.
I'm gonna go into the woods. I'm gonna bury it.
It's a bad move.
There's no connection to me
No, there's no
I
connection.
mean, you could
to
just go to Pennsylvania. So
But
why do you
Nebra-
have to go to Nebraska?
because it's just further
Nebraska
away.
has nothing else to do. If they see a body, you're fucked.
Well, here's the thing: you're
fucked.
all you're doing is prolonging the upping the chance of you getting caught while driving and get pulled over. Going to Nebraska, there's a higher chance of you getting pulled over versus just going to PA or just going to like
So
fucking.
they pull me over for speeding, and I'm like, I'm sorry for speeding.
I don't have. a dead
They're gonna be
body in
like,
the
oh,
trunk.
you speed, but can I also check your trunk for a dead body?
All right, see what if
absurd.
if you run a red light or something, you go over the speed limit, and they pull you over in Virginia where the cops are really bad.
What if some
I'll just be
fucking
a really
old
nice
bag
guy.
rear ends you and fucking the trunk pops open and there's a body in
Then
there?
you're fucked.
Okay, see, that's ridiculous.
It's not that ridiculous. It's not that ridiculous. It's not that ridiculous.
Isn't that ridiculous, my man?
I'll have it heavily wrapped, and I'll be like, sorry, I'm a fucking deer hunter. That's why I go to Nebraska to pull that shit off. You dumb
That's not so
motherfucker.
dear.
You dumb motherfucker.
All right, well, that's really bad. Give us your next one.
That's G3. That's a fucking phenomenal one. Fuck you.
terrible.
My 01, I would wait for a really, really big moment to happen in my life, something that's worth celebrating over. And what is this? What the fuck are the hands
I'm
going?
waiting for him to talk about it.
Yeah, so I'd wait.
of slack.
No, I know, but listen to what he says now.
I wait for a big celebration, and then I'm like, hey, listen, guys, Animal and the Snacks. Like
That's what I was waiting for.
we just closed a really big deal, and the company's gonna go to the next level. I want to have you guys over for dinner. I'm cooking.
I don't want to pay you guys. You guys suck. There's nothing worthy of you guys being in my company, so I'm gonna frame you for this.
No. That's later. I'm framing you later.
That's
But my
Oh,
01 is
list.
cook it and serve it. This is because you put on the list, just eat it. So I'm like, you're just gonna get down and eat it. So I clarified via text, you're not just gonna cook it and eat it, right? You're like, no, I'm just gonna.
No, you
sit-
asked if I was going to serve it to other people because I said if I have leftovers, maybe I'll go and dish them out to some homeless
Whatever.
people.
After
and then I took
here's
that
what
away.
We'll do. Since that was in the G category, I'll have seen you fuck up how to cook it and eat it. I'll know,
you would know.
how to pivot and make
They
it
would know.
correctly.
Well, see, you're not
have you guys
eating
over
it.
for a celebration.
You're serving it to others to eat it, so it's this,
Correct.
It's not the same.
and you guys won't suspect it because you'll be like, "This."
I mean, I've already tasted human before, so I might suspect
This
it.
is a cell. Yeah, but are you gonna?
I'm saying
snitch?
at that point,
are you gonna snitch?
I already ate a person.
You gonna snitch?
Never.
Then we're good.
Yeah.
I serve
If
it
any
to
of you guys are a fucking snitch,
I'm snitching on
You
you.
would
so I can
most
win.
likely be the first one to snitch on anybody.
If they put you in an interrogation room,
100%. Yeah.
fucking immediately.
so you know what? It's really funny you guys say that because 100,000, 10%, I would never snitch on anybody.
In fact, if they were like,
Ever.
Here's a glass of white wine. Tell us what happened.
yeah, if they slapped you one time, you're
Yeah.
done. You're
No, I
finished.
would do exactly what Jack Bauer did. Give me a glass of wine. Tell me what I want. Go fuck yourself. That's it. I would never snitch on anybody.
All right. Well, I would just say I would snitch on both of you so I could win herd of goats.
I'm very curious about this next one here.
All right. So my G3 was drive it to Nebraska, bury it. 01 is cook it and serve it to Snacks and Animal via a celebratory dinner.
Yeah, I have questions here.
For mine?
Yeah, I'm just
For 02?
I don't get it.
I want you to just read out what you wrote on the show sheet for 02.
Bring it to an Amish village.
Because why? I have to know.
Where is
Okay,
that
well, I
Amish
can
village?
easily tell you why.
In Nebraska?
No, just an Amish
Pennsylvania,
village.
there's plenty.
Yeah. I've actually
Either
been
way,
there.
Pennsylvania, wherever the case is.
Okay.
Bring it to an Amish village.
Elaborate.
They have no phones. They have no cable. They have nothing.
So they're not.
They have no cops go there. Their village is their village. They're Amish. They have nothing. So why would I not just dump a body in the Amish village who has no reconciliation of anything in the world?
I don't think that works.
Wait, hold on. So your plan is to just drive there and just dump
Nick
it?
knows I'm on a big word kick.
I just don't think that word belonged in that
Just drive.
sentence.
Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't hear the word. What was it?
Reconciliation.
Reconciliate. They have like
He even said it wrong
reconciliation.
the second time.
It didn't make sense.
Hold
I'm
on.
pretty sure.
No. Think about it. Think about it, though. Think about it. Dump the body in the Amish village. What are they going to do? They
Yeah,
can't
they're not
call-
gonna, like,
they
film
can't
you.
call
They're not gonna call the
911.
cops.
They can't call anything. It's just going to sit there.
They don't
It's
call
just
the
gonna
cops
sit
about
there.
anything. They don't
I'm
call
sure
the cops about anything.
they
No,
would.
they don't. They have no phone. They have nothing.
Right, but what happens if some like they have no one takes care of any
Buddy,
police
the
matters?
Amish have nothing. Nothing.
I mean, I think
Nothing.
maybe the new Amish, they might have like phones now. You don't
I'm
know.
not talking about the new Amish.
So if there's a crime within their community, nothing happens.
if they see a dead
If
body,
somebody dies
if
in
they
an
see
Amish
a dead
village,
body,
they just like leave it. Here's what
they
you're saying.
leave it.
No, I don't think
insane.
that's true.
So if
at
you go to
all.
Amish
How
village,
the fuck do you know? How do you know?
We don't.
How do
We're
you
asking
know?
you.
Yeah, but you think
How
they
do
just, like,
you guys
leave-
know?
But for you to so matter of factly be like, yeah, they just leave dead bodies.
Like, oh,
so if we went to their village,
Mary
and just
went out to
fucking
dry the clothes this morning and she died in the field, and she's still there.
just sprinkled
Hold on,
them
hold on.
over.
All right. Time out. On theory, though, is it that crazy?
Nah, it's actually pretty fucking good.
On theory, is it that crazy?
In theory.
but they're not.
But yeah,
they're not gonna just leave a dead body somewhere. They're gonna call it and be like, "We saw this fucking asshole."
No, they
drop
might
it
just
off.
eat it because they're the fucking Amish.
So there's a lot of people that are hungry for dead bodies tonight.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, 02, 03.
I actually thought that was my best one.
yeah. I mean, so it's not. But 03, I'm taking this body. I'm driving to the Everglades, and I'm just gonna drop it right in the water right next to all the alligators.
Where are
and
the
then eat it up.
Everglades?
In Florida.
Do you know how far that drive is?
24-hour drive. I can make that no problem.
Wait,
24
hold
hours.
on. But my
So you're driving the body to Florida.
In the
hold on,
trunk.
but my problem driving into Nebraska.
I'm a
is
deer
if
hunter.
someone- If someone hits the back of your car and
It's
the
the
trunk
same
pops
fucking
up,
distance.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have it.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna actually have the body in the boat that I'm hitching all the way down there, so that way when I could take the boat out onto the water to dump the body, so the
What the
boat won't.
fuck
You know
are
much
you
more
The body will
likely
be in the
now?
boat, not
Boat
the trunk.
is so much more likely to be searched than a car.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah,
It's facts.
never.
Because I'm gonna call them and be like, "There's a body."
My theme here is no evidence, so
Wait, so now you're buying a boat just to get rid of the body too? So now you're investing money into it, and you're talking about George's idea of buying a
this
burger
is-
joint is bad. This is fucking all world terrible.
you got to make sure you don't get caught. So if you have to go into debt, it's worth it.
dead and dead. No, this is a terrible fucking plan.
I'm feeding to the gators in the Everglades. That's the easiest thing I've ever done in my life.
No offense, Max.
Easiest thing to get fucking.
And
This is another L. for
sticking
you.
with the same theme here, guys. I have a theme, except I changed it for the end. But I have a theme. A1. I'm taking that
Steak
same
sauce?
boat. Taking that boat. I'm going out into some shark-infested water, and I'm gonna chum it. I'm gonna chum the body, and just let the sharks do their thing. Let nature take its course.
All right, go ahead.
This is even worse.
I'm done. Yeah. You screwed the pooch on this one.
You're buying another boat for this one too?
No, it's the same boat. I've killed multiple people. At this
Same
point.
boat. One's for the gators.
Go ahead and write in your fucking diary.
Do you think
Go
docs
ahead.
don't have video cameras on them? This is ridiculous.
I'm going out to the middle of the ocean.
Snacks. This is like all time ridiculous. Did you guys even put? Oh, never mind. Go 8-2. This is fucking. What do you think's gonna happen? You just put it up and it comes right down.
Yeah, you just hoping it lands in an Amish village or something.
This is fucking all world. Go 8-2.
All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my dead body and I'm gonna put it in a hot air balloon.
This is a problem on so many levels.
Yeah.
The hot air balloon, I'm gonna pay off the guy that sits in the hot air balloon and puts the sandbags down. Then it comes out.
Hold on. Why is
Shut
there
up.
a guy in
Shut up.
a balloon with a dead body?
the hot air balloon, there's somebody there that puts the sandbags down, you dumb fuck.
Okay.
I've been in a hot air balloon before, so I know.
All right.
This one is really ridiculous. My next one's even more ridiculous, but I'm putting the dead body in a hot air balloon, and I'm paying off the guy who's in the hot air balloon and giving the sandbags that put it to the bottom and did do whatever the case. This hot air balloon goes into heaven.
What?
So the dead guy is going to heaven. Whoever he is going to heaven. Hot air
What
balloon.
about the guy in the
boom.
hot air balloon? He's dead too now? He's going to heaven too?
No. I told him to come out. I just said that. I told him to come out.
So you're paying, you think this guy's just going to be like, yeah, I'm fine with you killing a body. I'm going to set it up into the air for you?
No, he doesn't know that because if you go to my last one, you'll know why.
Okay, that's the worst one on this list by far.
Yeah, easily,
A3.
not even
Whoa, wait. Time out.
A3, I'm dumping it at someone's house.
No. Time out. Why is that the worst one? If he's in a hot air balloon, the dead body, no one in sight, how is anybody going to
It's
figure
gonna
out?
fucking come back down and land somewhere. There's just
Okay,
gonna be
maybe
You don't know how to operate a hot air balloon. You go there. First of all, if you do it during the
you
day,
don't need to know how to operate.
you don't just
a
like
hot
push
air
a button
balloon.
and it goes up in the air. You gotta fucking pull
That's
the string.
not the point. If this guy goes up in a hot air balloon, he's not coming right down in the same fucking state or anything.
like a couple hours.
so there's no
else.
difference between you. Okay, so this is basically in principle, it's a body ending up in somewhere very random that you don't know where it is. In principle, it's the same thing as the Amish village, except it's going to land somewhere where people can call the police.
You don't know that.
It's a ridiculous thing to dispose
But
of.
you don't know that.
No, but neither do you.
Yeah, when the hot air balloon comes
No, I do
plummeting
know
down
that.
the suburbs into someone's fucking roof.
Yeah, like
there's
when
a
it
dead
just lands
body
on
in it.
animals' fucking
Your only
house.
thing
The
here's-
hot air balloon
here's
stays
what you
in the
missed.
air.
Here's what you missed.
You
Is
said you wanted to eat it. You already lost.
it's a great idea. Here's what you missed with the hot air balloon is the assumption that it was just a guy that was on a hot air balloon trip and he had an accident. But
If
you
you
never
do it during
you
the
never
day, someone's going to
clarified
see
that.
it. If you do it at night, you don't know how to light it up and do it.
I couldn't
Ridiculous.
do the same. I couldn't do the
A3.
same thing.
Enough of your dumb fucking air balloon. I'm gonna drive it over to someone's house. I'm gonna dump it in their house, and I'm just gonna frame them. Like I've already framed you guys like multiple times already on this list. Why not add one more to it? Right now, I think I'm gonna frame him because he is just fucking off his rocker on tonight's episode. So we're gonna drop it at Snacks' house. I'm gonna call the police. Bing bang boom. Make it look like he
That's
did
a
it.
terrible idea.
I wouldn't call the police.
At my house, my house, there lives a
You don't
lawyer.
want any ties
I'll be
to
like,
his body.
I'll be like, police, I killed someone. It's at Snacks' house.
At my
They'll
house,
never
I
suspect
know
it.
there's a dead body in his backyard. I just
I
know
killed
it.
him. I was the one who did it.
At my house,
Feel it.
At my house, there lives a lawyer. That's a terrible idea.
She's a real estate lawyer for a second. I would make sure there's no
No, she's not.
I would
Not
make
just
sure
a
there's
real
no-
estate.
she's a
buddy.
dead
make sure
body
there's nobody
lawyer.
there. Dead body lawyer.
Did you know?
Then why don't you ask her for help if she knows?
Did you
'Cause
know-
it's-
did you
clearly
know-
you didn't get help from her.
Did you know in the last? Actually, I don't know if this is going on camera. The last year,
Lawyer?
not the defendant, the
Prosecutor?
prosecutor on 3 murder charges.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I swear to God, yeah.
Why don't you ask her for help on this?
not
Because
like
yours
a-
are terrible. Be like,
Monetary?
Yeah,
how do I
yours are
get away
bad.
with it? I'm gonna say
Yours are the worst. You just keep talking about eating it.
Wait till you see my last one.
Snacks. I'm gonna go out on a limb and
It's the
tell you
perfect
she
crime.
didn't suggest the hot air balloon one to you.
I think that's probably the best one.
Okay. A3 is I'm dumping at someone's house, frame job. T1, I'm gonna chop pieces up and I'm gonna send fingers and toes to all of my enemies.
You want a toe? I get you a toe by noon.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck did you say to me that one time back in June of 2009? Here's a fucking toe. You don't know who it's from. You don't know who it is. But I feel like I've seen this in the movies too many times not to try this out. One time in my life, I need to send a finger to somebody. I'm going to put a ring on it too. So you know, like, no, that's a good frame job. I'm going to send a finger to someone who like wears a ring.
I'll be wearing a pinky ring soon enough.
Okay. So I'm going to send it to like, I'm going to send a finger to Snacks with that ring on it. I'm going to get a duplicate ring of yours so he gets freaked out about it. I'm going to put all this expensive piece of jewelry so people know who it is.
That's gonna
I'm gonna
bug
go.
me out.
I'm gonna walk into all these stores with cameras and buy jewelry.
Yeah.
Keep the receipts.
This one's not really about getting away with it. This is about sending a message to my fucking enemies. So that's my T1.
all right. It's a little.
It's still better than all of your guys' thus far.
No, all my bodies are gone. You don't see them ever again.
His is easily the worst.
Please finish, please, because my
Someone
last
go.
one
Someone go.
is the winner.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. You get a dead guy. You're gonna pretend they're alive. You ever seen The Weekend at Bernie's? You're gonna pretend. You're gonna put the sunglasses on his face. You're gonna pretend like he's alive, and you're gonna carry him all around all day, all blah 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 blah. I know you like this one. You love this
mean,
one.
I like it from
Max,
a
you
comical
love this
standpoint.
one.
I like it, but from a realistic standpoint, it's just out of this world. But yes, keep going.
So you carry around the dead guy with the sunglasses on his face like Weekend at Bernie's. Then you decide to go and skydive off an airplane. And you bring the dead guy with you. The Weekend at Bernie's guy. The dead guy you want to get rid of. So when you get up in the air, you just pooch him out of the airplane.
Because there's not people on the airplane.
Yeah,
with
just
you.
Not with a group or an instructor or a pilot.
You don't have to sign like 38 waivers before you go up.
You just pooch him out. You pooch him out, and the guy's done. He's dead.
You really thought this one through, huh?
That was it.
That's sad that was the one that you really thought.
Oh yeah, and the one you really thought about was, I'm gonna eat it.
How'd you do it? We ate her. You ate her?
That was your G1. That's the 101. And you
I was worried someone was going to
on.
take it.
Yeah, I mean, I basically
I thought we were
did.
supposed to think about. I thought my thought process through that was actually pretty fucking funny.
Wait, you
and
thought about yours?
with the last one, yeah, it did.
okay.
Yeah.
Right,
the
so-
Weekend at Bernie's, I thought was great.
They're all
Like,
terrible.
just take it out. Well, let's see who wins.
The,
'Cause I have
In
one-
fairness, mine wasn't. I wouldn't have gotten away with my T1 either. I guess you wouldn't have either.
No,
so
nobody-
I know his aren't getting away either way.
You guys realize I could have been eating bodies just for like the past year.
Can I
You would
be
have never
honest?
known.
Can I be honest?
Have
I
you
think
really looked in my freezer other than just like open and grab some ice?
Those chicken feet.
Have
were
you
actually
really
human little
looked in my
toes, huh?
freezer?
I think the only one that gets away with us is if somebody goes in the hot air balloon, because that thing never comes
Stop.
down.
First of all,
Enough.
It never comes down.
T3. We're gonna finish it off strong here. I'm breaking my theme of eating everything, and I'm gonna go with I'm taking this body and I'm throwing it in a fucking volcano, because you have never heard anybody in
Where
history.
are you going to a volcano, though?
I'll
That's
find
the
the
problem.
fucking closest volcano. Just listen.
You
all
have
right?
to get-
Volcanoes like in Hawaii.
You
Where
have
you
to
gonna
get
go
on a
fucking
plane
take
to
an
go
airplane?
there.
There's other volcanoes. Just listen.
Where?
Just listen. You've never heard anybody in the history of the world say, "Hey, come check out this dead body I found in the bottom of a volcano."
Am I wrong
Because
here?
it's incinerated and melted and it doesn't
Am I
exist
wrong
anymore.
here?
No,
So
you're
you're wrong on a few. One, again, we need to know where this
Thank
volcano
you.
is, because
Thank you.
I keep going back to my Nebraska thing, and you keep naming places that are further from Nebraska.
And you're talking about a volcano where
do you
you
get
have
to the top of a
You have to
volcano?
get the dead body on a plane
I'm a
to
freak
go
athlete.
to
You think I
Hawaii.
can't climb a fucking
Volcanoes
volcano?
aren't built like they are in movies where it's just like boom, like that, and you just get to the top and dunk it
No,
in.
it's not. It's not even that. They're in Hawaii.
There's a motherfucking little volcano in New Jersey in Wantage in fucking
there's lava in
Rutan
the middle of
Hill.
it?
You
Show me
literally
lava
just
in that
looked that
fucking
up.
volcano.
You literally just looked that up. That's not lava.
Rutan Hill. That's
me see.
lava,
That's
motherfucker.
fake news. What is it called?
Rutan Hill.
Rootin'
There's
Hill?
no
How do you
way
spell
in hell.
Rootin' Hill?
What did that explode once in the last?
It's not
30
really a
years?
volcano, but it's the closest thing to a volcano, which
All right,
means
no, I-
there is lava.
Nick, it's gonna come between me and you this week.
And if not, there's probably the fucking volcano like a state over. All right.
Dude, you like, it's really cool in theory, but there's absolutely no shot that works.
If you had a private jet and you could bring the dead body on a plane to Hawaii for the volcano,
not
yeah,
gonna
it's
fly all the
awesome.
way to
It would
Hawaii.
be
But you
sick if
can't.
it erupted while you were like mid throwing the body in.
Yeah, well, that's a
Volcano
different story
body,
too.
dude.
Yeah.
I always wanted to see a volcano eruption.
You know what's funny?
You know, it's actually a crazy fun fact. There was a town in Italy called Ercolano, and a volcano erupted and just wiped it out.
That was probably your tell sign.
What? That you guys should dispose of my body. All right.
I'm going to Italy in August.
I want
You
in
are?
the comment section. I would like to have some
the
people
motherland.
comment their ways of disposing bodies.
Yeah, how do you guys want to dispose your bodies?
Don't take.
Me and Matt.
Don't steal.
All right,
eat it. That's mine.
Listen. Me and Animal decided to do a little bit more family friendly kind of stuff, but we're an organized crime family, so we can't really dispose of how we dispose the body. See what I just did there?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense though. I should just discuss. Just works. We shouldn't really discuss how we.
That's why
dispose.
I'm the boss and he's the underboss.
Dispose.
I can whack him anytime I want. But as always, thanks for listening, and please comment, rate below.
The U.S. has 169 volcanoes that could erupt. I have 169 volcanoes to choose from.
My problem is getting it there and then getting it up the fucking volcano.
I'm a freak athlete. I can carry a dead body up a volcano.
And no one's going to see that.
No, who's climbing volcanoes?
Who isn't?
Wait, but the problem is
Everybody
getting.
climbs
The
volcanoes.
problem is getting the body to Hawaii.
Are you a fucking idiot?
He just said there was a...
There's 169 volcanoes in the U.S., not just Hawaii.
I was trying.
Name the closest one. Don't do that because we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all on next week's episode.
If you think New Jersey has a fucking volcano, you're dumb.